No whammies. Come on, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Hey, 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 huh? Never doubted myself. Look at that. We're live, guys. Finally. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. I tried to it kept saying turn the phone, turn the phone, turn the phone, and that was not the case. It just looked like crap no matter what I did. But you know what? It wouldn't be the live podcast if something didn't go wrong. So, how you guys doing? How's it going? I'm trying this new little setup because it's portable. It's just everything fits on a tripod and I can literally go. I think that's the point. And that way we can do podcasts on tour that aren't just a nightmare. I'm just going to say a nightmare. There's no way to find a quiet spot and then set up just mics and mixing boards and stuff like that. All that stuff is inside for the stage, and trying to do it on the bus, just trust me when I say it doesn't work. So something like this is perfect. And I think this mic is pretty solid. It's plugged into this phone, but I don't know if it's working. Anyway, I'll stop talking about the gear of it all and get into it. How you guys been? How's it going? Today started off fantastic for me. It's going to keep going great. We got a lot of stuff planned for today. But the only thing I would change is that I wish Buddy was here. I wish Buddy was here. He is at my mom's. We had to drop him off because Valentina, she sometimes works long hours, and it would be pretty terrible, pretty tough if he was just stuck here for like 9-10 hours by himself, nobody to feed him or nobody to walk him. So yeah, Buddy is not here, and it was kind of weird waking up this morning without him. I gotta be honest, that's the best part of waking up. You wake up and he's just like licking your face and like hugging your neck, all this weird stuff that he does. You kind of get used to it. When it's not there, you miss it. You really do. Okay, first comment I saw was thoughts on 50 Shades of Grey. I'm gonna let you know that this is gonna go in a different direction than that. Not that I don't want to hear you guys' comments, but I'm just going to kind of fire this off because I have a lot of stuff that we're going to handle today. Today, Valentina and I are going to get our second sonogram. Yeah, it's exciting. So this one is to kind of like see the progress, see if it's doing well. Some scary stuff involved. They can kind of see if everything's going right, which I'm sure everything is. It's been great. She's been taking her vitamins and being all healthy and everything like that. So hopefully we get all the good news that we could hope for. But we got to do that. We got to be there in like 50 minutes. So that's like a 25-minute drive. So this is not going to be the longest live show or podcast I've ever done. But I wanted to try and test this out. And I'm going to say right off the bat, this is great. This is amazing. I love this. I'm stoked. The podcasts have always been fun. And now this is just even better. This is easier. Just fire it up and go. That being said, tomorrow I leave. That's why we had to do the sonogram today, because tomorrow I leave for tour. It's bittersweet. It's exciting because I get to play drums with all the dudes again, get to travel and come see all of you guys, and play the 10-year anniversary set that we have planned for you. If you've been to a We the Kings show and you think like, yeah, We the Kings is coming to town again, it is not even that close. It's not. This is something that like we don't even know what to expect. We planned 3 full rehearsal days in Nashville just to kind of put this all together because it's like nothing we've ever done. If you've seen us on tour, you see us just play all the hits, which is, of course, what you want to hear. We get it. We give the people what they want. But this is something truly special. This is one of those things that, I don't know, you're going to kind of say that you were there for. Like, you were there when we played our entire first album front to back. We haven't done this since... I'm going to be honest, we've never done this before. Because when our first album came out, we were openers. I think the first tour we did was Boys Like Girls, All Time Low. Sorry, I just dropped all those names. Sorry, hold on. I'll get a broom later. But it's going to be exciting for a lot of different reasons because we've never played the full album. When we were first starting out, we were opening, and that was it. Like, you only got like 35 minutes, and that's not enough to play that full album. So I'm pretty stoked that this is something we've never done, and if you go, you'll see it. We did play the whole first album in Japan once. I saw somebody play that comment, but we skipped a song. That's true. We didn't have enough time, so we skipped the song, and it didn't quite work the way that we thought it was going to work. The true story behind that, I guess I might as well tell you guys, is we were booked for Japan, and I think a week before we flew out, we didn't realize that the Tokyo date, we were supposed to play the entire first album. And we did do it, but in a way that we sort of like put everything together in like a sound check, and it worked, it happened, but just trust me when I say it's not even close to the same as what we're going to do now, because this show is not only going to be the first album, it's going to be a couple extra things that are going to be pretty solid. Anyway, a lot of people are talking about Shay right now. I have no idea what that's about. I didn't even say the name Shay, but anyway, moving right along. I watched the Grammys last night, as I'm a musician and it's the biggest night in music, so I felt obliged to, but I'm just going to say right off the bat that I hate award shows. I hate live stuff. I hate large gatherings of people where somebody's in front of the mic, not to do music when they're a musician, and it's just, it's tough. It's tough, you know? Like, Valentine, she kept asking me, she's like, why are you getting up and walking around? Because periodically throughout the show, I just had to keep getting up and pacing the house. Like, that's how much anxiety I got watching the Grammys. Like, just simple stuff like jokes that didn't work. And what was one, Valentina? Because like it happened when I was packing, right? I'm packing for tour, and I hear Adele's show, and the cello comes in. You could tell that she started. First of all, for those of you that don't know, Adele, she started singing in a different key than the musicians. To break it down even more, to like explain, like I'm five. You have to be in the same key. It's the same notes. Like if you go from this note and you do a third step up, you can't just necessarily do it in like from this note to this note. It has to be the same key, so it works. Anyway, point is, she started singing the song, and if she was doing it a cappella, if she was just doing it by herself, it would have been beautiful. But like the entire orchestra was playing in the right key because they're not going to mess up. They've got the music right in front of them. So they just start playing the real one, but Adele had started in a different key. And so right when the cello came in, it just sounded like wrong notes. They're deafening. It's insane. And I heard it while I was packing, and you could tell that the sound guy for the Grammys he heard it, and he was just turning everything down. So it was pretty much just Adele and just these like a couple musicians. But when the cello came in, it was impossible to ignore. And I was like, that's off. And Valentina's like, what? Huh? I can't even hear it. And then all of a sudden she just stops, and she's like, I'm so sorry, I can't do that. Which is kind of, it took a lot for her to do that, just to stop a song midway through. You've got the tribute playing, like the projection's got photos of George Michael and stuff like that. It was live, and she just goes, I can't do this as a tribute. I have to do this right. So she stops it, and they start over, and thank God she gets it in the right key. But it was just, what a roller coaster of a night for her. Like, she went through that, and then she won the Grammys, and then she called her manager her dad, and then she called Beyonce her mom. It was a lot of stuff that I just had to get up and walk around. I couldn't take it. I forget who else was doing stuff, but I liked Lady Gaga. Rolling with Metallica was kind of cool. I can't tell if like I like that because I'm supposed to, or if it was actually kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, I think Lady Gaga is kind of like, you could agree she's going anti herself right now. Like, she was just different from what it was, and that's what made her her. But now that she's become arguably the biggest artist in the world besides Beyonce, she has to be like anti herself to like continue her whole vibe. And I think that's what she's doing right now by doing like kind of the country, doing more like classic rock. She's kind of just doing this whole thing where people are like, what is this? And that's what you said when you first started falling in love with Lady Gaga. You're like, what is this? And then you eventually started loving her. So I think that's what she's doing. She's going in that direction. But watching her hop around with like Metallica, I don't know. I felt like it took away from Metallica doing their thing, which you don't get a lot of that in like award shows nowadays. It's like the Foo Fighters said in one of their documentaries. They're like, are we just here because we're the rock band? You know what I mean? And not because they're respected musicians in the industry. And it was weird because that's all I could think the whole time was, if Lady Gaga wasn't here, would Metallica still be doing their thing? You know, which is, I kind of want to just see Metallica do their thing. Because like I said, you don't see that too much. But it was cool. She rocked it. She's a true performer. Like, she is... No matter what she does, she can own it. And she kind of had this cool, like, she was super talented. She was getting into it. / she looked like she would be like the girl in like a music video back in those, like an 80s hair metal band. Like she played that role a little bit, but while being the performer, it was kind of cool. I gotta admit, I watched it and I did like it, but I think my overall thoughts on that is like, I'd rather see just like Metallica doing their thing instead of the camera on Lady Gaga the whole time. So those are my thoughts on that. The Grammys were pretty cool the whole time. Although another moment that I had to kind of get up and walk around out of like kind of just being awkwarded out was when Beyonce went up to. She accepted something. I forgot what she won, but as she's accepting something, she's reading from something right here, right? And that's totally okay because you're nervous. Everybody gets up there and they're like, so nervous. And then they need to read what they want to say because they might forget somebody or forget to say something. But she's got this whole like vibe to her that just creeped me out. She's got this whole like demi-goddess sort of thing going on. If you look at her, I was telling Valentina to stop and just take a screenshot of what you're watching as she's doing that. She's got her like the whole veil thing she's doing. And she's reading this gold thing like this, and if you look at it, it looks like a stained glass painting that you'd see in a church of like the Virgin Mary or something like that. It was really, really crazy. Like it weirded me out a little bit that she just. I see like doing the whole like Queen Bee thing was great. You know, like she is the best at what she does. She's a legendary artist. And I'll always watch Beyonce do anything. But then to kind of like, it feels like she's going up a little bit from there to this like demi-goddess thing. And it's just like, that kind of weirds me out a little bit. But she is Beyonce. And, you know, most people will be like, shut up. She can do what she wants. And can't say that you're wrong. Anyway, moving right along. Super stoked to head on tour. It's been a minute. I think we've done some college shows, but it's been a minute since we've all been out on the road. This is going to be different for me for a couple of reasons. I am going to try and go as long as I can without drinking at all. And I can't. I'll be honest. I could admit that I can't remember the last time I've done that. You know, it's not like I've never played a show sober, but it just kind of becomes part of the process because, you know, I got to admit, every time you play a show, you still get a little bit of butterflies. You hope everything goes well, and you just kind of like, okay, you prep yourself to get out there and do your thing. But I don't know. It's just a part of the process where you all just kind of like have a little, like, yeah, let's do a little shot, and you do your pre-show thing and everything like that. So it's tough to think that, like, you know, just sober the entire time. But I'll go as long as I can. I give myself 3 weeks. I think I'm going to make it like 3 weeks in the tour, and then we'll be like, all right, you know what? I think having a beer before going on stage is going to be better for everybody. I'll be looser and therefore put on a better show. But I'm not too worried about it. The thing that I'm pretty stoked about is playing the 10-year album and getting ready for that. I haven't really played the songs on drums in a long time. It's not going to be too hard for me. For some reason, I have a really good memory when it comes to drum parts. I can't remember where I put my keys or what I had for lunch yesterday, but when it comes to drum parts, I seldom forget them. So it'll be fun to put all those together and everything like that. Anyway, today is kind of a fun day for me and Valentina. Besides the sonogram, we're treating today like it's our Valentine's Day. Yeah. Oh, I just saw somebody say, are you doing the no drinking thing to support Valentina? Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, it's probably good for everybody to take a break here and there, and I think I'm about due up for that. So, you know what I think it is? It's Warped Tour. Warped Tour is like, it's the tour that, like, you kind of slowly get into a Groundhog's Day thing. It's just another dirt parking lot that's 95 degrees. And you go play your set, and you're just kind of seeing everybody the same. Like, it goes from the first week of tour. Here's how tour works. I'm gonna give you guys behind the scenes of here's how tour works. The first 2 or 3 weeks, you're like sitting down, and you're like having conversations with everybody and seeing like, cool, like blah blah, like, yeah, that's awesome, that's amazing. And then it slowly turns into you pass each other backstage and stuff like that, and you do one of these, just like that's it. Like, hey man, how's it going? Good. All right, cool. Good to hear. You know, and then just because every day you're going to see each other, you feel like you have to drop the whole, like, we have to have a conversation because we're in the same hallway passing each other. And you just kind of do the, hey, how's it going? And that's an exaggerated version of what actually happens. But that happens on Warped Tour, so you're just kind of like, well, you know, it's like we already played our show. We did a signing. I went and said, hey, everybody. I went and saw all the bands I want to see. And it's 1 o'clock. So I'll just, maybe I'll have a drink. And then it kind of, that's what turns into the sort of dangerous part where you just get used to that being a part of your day. And I think since Warped Tour, I've had like at least like 10 to 15 drinks a week, and it's pretty bad. So I'm taking a break, and of course, like I said, to support Mi Amor, because she loves her wine, and she can't have any. And it's really funny because I actually got sparkling grape juice. Yeah, got sparkling grape juice so that we could have champagne for our Valentine's Day dinner tonight. I'm stoked about that. I really, really am. So I leave tomorrow on the 14th, head to Nashville, and I'm all packed up. It's kind of crazy to think that I'm going to be gone for 2 months. Valentina is trying to deal. She got teary-eyed a little bit last night, and I was like, don't worry, girl, don't worry. I'm going to do these live shows for you. That's why I'm doing these live shows, is that so I could talk to Valentina, and all you guys can just listen in like weirdos. Hopefully you guys like the new camera. I got the new camera that I've really, really wanted to try. Like I said in the vlog, if you guys haven't heard, I got this Goldilocks setup. Because I had that other camera, it was heavier. The lenses like came out to here. You needed like a bigger mic, and it was like a little bit too much. Like this is all I use for the regular vlogging, like point and shoot. But you can't really get too creative with it. It's limited in its size, although it does the job just fine. I got that camera right there, and hopefully you guys are seeing exactly what I mean when I get more creative. You saw like a bunch of the cool vlogs with the people are calling it the dog commercial vlog where I took Buddy to the park. I think that's hilarious because it's a bit of a compliment in itself that like the time at the park with all the fun gimbal shots and slow-mo, people thought it looked like a dog commercial. So I'm glad you guys like it. I am super stoked to take that on the road and give... What is the legacy thing? Oh, this. Those of you guys asking, what's this on my shelf? This is, when I was like 14 years old, working at 15 years old, working jobs. I was working at a retirement center and then like later moving to Domino's Pizza and stuff like that. I saved up every paycheck, went to like one symbol. Like I'd work for 2 weeks and then I got a paycheck and that was one symbol. And then I worked for 2 weeks and that was one cymbal stand. Then I worked for 2 weeks and that was a bass drum pedal. And that's how I slowly bought my drum set. And I'd always read through magazines to figure out, like, you know, who was playing what was this, and like it was always a big thing to see like the drummers in the ads, you know, like Vader drumsticks with, whomever, or Travis Barker was with Vic Firth, and you know stuff like that. Vader, Carter Buford from like Dave Matthews Band, or all these drummers and everything like that. And then the first time I ever saw myself in an ad in, I think it was AP Magazine, but it was a Zildjian ad, and I saw myself there, and I just pictured my 15-year-old self riding my bike to my job to save up one paycheck for one cymbal, and then here I am in one of these ads where I'm sponsored, you know, and they just kind of give them to me for free, which is, it's so humbling and it's so cool that I cut it out. I got this really cool frame, and I put it up there, you know. Not to get cliche or corny, but, you know, sort of one of those chasing your dreams is worth it, because you never know where you're going to end up. All right, I think from there, I'm going to move right along and get to this little sonogram thing, so we got to leave, like right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'm going to edit once I get back from the sonogram. It's a fun blog, and I hope you guys are super stoked about that. So we'll see you then. Thank you guys so much for watching this live show. And I love this. This is great. This is amazing. So we're going to continue doing these, and I'm super stoked to do them on tour. We'll see you then, guys. Bye. Yes.